All right, should we go for it?
Yeah, let's do it. I was just listening to Bin Laden's catchy tune for that animation that they put together. It's good.
I love it. I know. Uh, well, I'll post in just some useful links here. But I just want to say, man, what an amazing day, an amazing event. Like I said in my post earlier, I've never been more bullish on the community and the project and what we're going to achieve together than after today. So amazing job. Big props to you guys. Uh,
Thanks. Yeah, and it's also in part in the commitment from our community all coming together. It's pretty amazing.
Well, from the DTF perspective, we founded the DTF about 6, 7 months ago, and really the initial goal of the DTF was to get as much funding as we could into community builders' hands, right? With the idea that it's clear there's so much innovation and creativity in the space. How can we incentivize and reward that? But not only acknowledge work that's already going on, but create more useful work for our community. So I really, really want to put in a big plug to anyone that's looking to create, that wants to create content for onboarding, that has a game that they want to build, anything that you think you need funds to help achieve that's good for the Aavegotchi ecosystem. We want to fund you. And we were given a 50,000 Ghost grant from the Aavegotchi DAO, and we're responsible for that. So apply for it, right? So the link to the application is there, and we'll work with you on the application if we think that's reasonable or what milestones should be. And some examples of things that we funded so far. So multiple projects with you guys and GMI and onboarding videos. We know that onboarding is hard for this space, and just like learning how to get Ghost onto Polygon has been tough. And so funding you guys to create that content not only gives us a video to refer people to, but I'm hoping develops like your guys' skills in content creation, so you guys can really pump out and produce like more onboarding content in an efficient way, and then can give us a path from the DAO to content production and a stream of funds from the DAO for that, which I'm so excited about and really thankful that we've had you guys to partner with early on. Some other things.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
was gonna say, yeah, likewise, to see you guys being able to support some of our initiatives and then to see them come to life and actually get a product out has been it's been really satisfying and excited to see kind of what you guys can do, not only for GMI but also just the growing ecosystem of creators and other maybe other aspects as well that could be funded by like the DTF.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's clear to me that GMI is going to be successful, but also seeing all these other groups present today, there's so much talent here. And we want to be a part of helping make that happen and empowering you guys and your creators. So really consider applying for them. Other examples, just it's not just making video content. We were worried about harvester prices, and the DTF funded Notorious and Mikey J's harvester report. And I think that that could serve as a really good example moving forward of how can we have work groups that help hash out really high quality research to help the overall project be better, and to hopefully really streamline our process of how we develop the Aavegotchi protocol. So ideally, in a perfect world, we have we settle on the perfect recipes or what we want to roll out, and we don't change things too much or go back and forth or have DAO infighting on that. And how can the DTF help fund really high quality content contributors to work alongside and parallel to what Pixelcraft is doing is what I see one avenue of the DTF. Other cool things, super excited. Speaking of Bin Laden and Friendless Summer's upcoming 9ADAPS production, obviously you are in that. So I'm super excited to hear your ongoing voice skills continue to develop, and really, really excited to see some of the animation that's going to come out with that 9ADAPS.
Yeah. The 9 ADAPTs is going to be definitely a product that I think we're all going to be really proud of at the end, looking back. Not only as a Gotchi gang, but also as GMI being part of the cast is pretty exciting.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely love it. Uh, some other things, we're thinking about kind of answering Hardcore's question a little bit here, but it's really, really clear that we need better tools as DAOs, and especially with how we have frequent financial transactions as the DTF. Like, how can we do that in a more streamlined, efficient way, but also a way that's really visible to the DAO? Ideally, the whole DAO would know what we're doing with the funds at all times and could see that and where it was going. And I'm hoping that tools like Parcel will be helpful for external transparency. And as far as like rewarding contributors, we set up the DTF so that specifically we wouldn't award ourselves any funds. So it's hard right now from the DTF perspective that we can't financially incentivize any of the members. But if we grew the DTF, we want to be able to incentivize involvement at all levels in our DAO, and using things like Coordinate or other tools to incentivize that would not only help like current members like stay really engaged and have high quality oversight and measures for what is funded, but also to grow DTF membership as we have specialized sub DAOs that maybe need a little bit like more hands-on involvement from the funding and measures side, like really more project management, which I see the DTF being able to provide. Other things like more budget. We've only spent like 4,000 ghosts so far of the 5,000 that was allotted to us. So we probably need to increase our ghost expense rate. And there's so much talent in the community, we need to fund that. So we can do that when we need it, but hopefully we can get a lot more applications, a lot more interest, and get a lot more content and growth with the funds we have first. But last thing I was going to talk about, you guys had asked me to touch some on the standard operating procedures that Gadfly and I produced. So this is basically kind of like an initial constitution for the DAO. Like, what are our rules? How do we work? How do we deal with removing members or adding members? And what do we do in different circumstances to avoid exploitation and to be as healthy as possible and have ways to deal with road bumps? So we developed that document. It was passed by the DAO. I was really excited about the work that was put into it. And I'm sure there'll need to be amendments or a bill of Gotchi rights eventually, perhaps. But for now, that should help guide us for the foreseeable future. I am interested to hear from the community a little bit. Hopefully you can throw up in the chat, like, what would you like to see funded? I think we're all excited about arcade games. And so we just recently approved funding two games, Gotchi Minor and Gotchi Heroes will be getting funded. They've already been funded through the DTF, but other game development we're interested in incentivizing, but always open to community feedback on these guys are doing something great, but they need help. You should touch base with them or you should refer them to us. So any ideas you guys have, definitely think of the DTF.
Yeah, I think that's great to just extend that olive branch out to the rest of the community, because maybe there wasn't as much of a level of awareness around how to get access to those funds. And I know you posted, I think you posted the standard operating procedure, but also the DTF funding application. So definitely look at those two documents if you're interested in getting some funding for your project or content creation. There's an avenue there through the DTF to get that.
Yeah, absolutely. And still a standing offer out to help fund and contribute to this event. If you guys are interested in that, feel free to reach out. And perhaps funding GMI in a way is a way to get Adobe Illustrator subscriptions or other creator content in the hands of not just an individual, but a group, if that's possible, if there's like a corporate subscription or something. But yeah, I just really, really appreciate it. You guys, thanks for having me on here. And always feel free to reach out, join our Discord, or DM me with questions on how to get funded.
You have a Discord link you could drop in the chat there for people who want to drop into the DTF chat and either have questions for you guys or would like to just submit an application.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll throw that in there now.
Nice. I have a feeling you're going to be getting a lot of contacts in the next couple days.
Yeah, let's go, man. That's what we want to see, and that's what the community has trusted us to do with the funds.
Perfect. Yeah, looking forward to that. And thank you for taking the time to present today. I know you have other things going on right now, like work wise, but thank you for taking the time to present here.
Yeah, happy to come at you live from the hospital. It feels good. But I'll take care. Take care, and talk to you guys later.
Yeah,
Likewise. Thank
appreciate
you.
your time. Thanks.
I'm looking
So
forward to the day where he leaves the hospital behind in his full-time Gotchi life. It's been awesome to have his guidance and support the ecosystem.
we'll need a Gotchi hospital after that great battle. So someone's gonna have to build that. So coming up here, we have another two presenters here on behalf of the Wearable Task Force. We did have that previous presentation by Shah, very concise, very informative on the ATF, but now this is the Wearable Task Force talking about wearables and the future of Aavegotchi wearables, and get their maybe some just their take on what they see the WTF playing as a force in the Gotchiverse. What tasks are they going to be playing in the Gotchiverse? So we have Coolness and Phantasma, who can quickly touch on this. Welcome, fellas.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. Nice talking with everybody. Haven't did a hangout in a long time. Phantasma, I'll just kind of kick things off. I know you have a couple things you want to touch on, so it's a little impromptu. But so yeah, I think one of the founding reasons the WTF got started, I think, was when we saw some crossover with a lot of the traits, too many in one direction, a lot of the minus traits wearables weren't getting used, but I think one of the big ones was once they rolled out the radar set, which had the radar eyes and the monocle mimicking traits when we had a lot more room to play with. So we wanted to largely come in and present our feedback and traits list to PC just to kind of help give them some input. As you're aware, there's sets out there that have some strange crossovers where they have a plus brain and a minus brain item within the same set. I think the Link Marine one's one. Even the Sergei set has an air. So there were prospects of us just seeing what we could do to potentially fix those, and I think the leading indicator is the wearable bonus is really the only way that we can fix that. We from Dan's comments, we didn't want to make any changes to the underlying wearable itself, so really the only way we could fix that is through the set bonus. That is something we still need to push forward. I think it would have to go to a SIG prop and then a core prop to make sure everybody in the community endorses it. I don't see why anybody wouldn't, just because it would benefit everybody who's participating in rarity farming. Which I'm really looking forward to, by the way. So yeah, just that's kind of just a real quick background on the WTF and how we kind of got started. So initially, one of our big focuses was to go through, and literally we had I think out of an 8 or 10 member team, we went through every item, every slot, rarity, both or all of the traits plus minus in all the directions, and so we wanted to try to give them as big of a picture, so to speak, of what's missing, what's needed the most, which slots were the least used. So we had a lot of, obviously, body armor is going to probably be something that there's always going to be a lot of. Same with helmets. I think what we need for the head items. I'm sorry, but yeah, it sounds like the pet slot, the face slot, and the eye slots are always probably going to be the most rare, just in general availability or supply, I should say. But yeah, I mean, that's something that we're hoping to work more closely with PC on when the need does arise for more wearables. I would think most of the community seems to be supportive of the fact that we're probably already a little bit heavy on the supply side for what's actually needed for rarity farming. But it's definitely something we're going to continue to work on in the raffles and whatever else leads is in our future. It's not really something that we have a direct impact on. We can't just say, yeah, we need to make this change. Like I said, it would definitely have to go through a voting process. And then just to touch on a couple of the other, I should say, the future of wearables, or where we would like to see things go. We've had a lot of discussions on this, and I think I had hinted to it in maybe one of the DAO Hangout meetings. But imbuements seems to be one of the big things, and by imbuement I mean basically you have your piece of armor, you have your headpiece, your handpiece, your body piece, your eyes, basically any wearable. In essence, you could imbue, and imbuements would largely come from alchemical crafting, and they would largely be short-term bonuses. We haven't really nailed down any specific time frame. It might be 1 day, it might be 1 week, and they would only be inverse. It wouldn't affect rarity farming in any way. So it's going to be a complete separation from rarity farming and inverse attributes and things of that nature. So I think imbuements would be a big path that we want to focus on in the future, which is largely bonus armor, bonus damage, bonus speed, potentially bonus alchemica pickup range, all things of that nature. And like I said, those would all be temporary bonuses. They wouldn't be permanent. And finally, I think outside of that, I think one of the other pieces that we're most interested in is the aesthetic side of things, which would also be separate from rarity farming. They wouldn't have any trait modifiers. We're want to get the community's feedback here soon in regards to if we should keep it actually different rarity tiers if we do go the aesthetic route, which would be like I said, non BRS modifying. So I think that's something that we want to iterate a little bit further on before we bring that to a vote. But it's definitely something we're open to, receiving community input on now. If we want to have, either one artist set be multiple different rarity tiers, or if there basically shouldn't be any rarity tiers. But the way that we've followed, decorations, things of that nature, leads us to believe we'll probably want to keep rarity tiers. So that's kind of my little spiel. Phantasma, if you want to weigh in on anything further, feel free to.
Sure. Thanks a lot for that. For one, I mean, I think there's one key thing that I want to highlight about the wearables task force, which is how little of a task force, like official and formal task force, we are. Like if you compare it, let's say, to the Treasury, where you're getting to that point where um, you have signers, so they might need to be doxed in certain ways. They're carrying actual financial responsibilities where the DAO goes. Whereas I think the closest thing I can compare the W2F in its current form to is it's a focus group, because we're really a group of a very diverse group, I would say. Uh, Whether you look at it as what we own, or what kind of wearables we endorse, or what rarities. But it's basically like it really is confined to a thread, to a channel within the main Discord. And from time to time, we just engage in discussions, and we're like a focus group, but there's no the body itself, and nobody in it has any kind of decision power or special alpha as to what's actually going to happen. So to give you an example, Jesse is still here among us, which is great. He just shared something that says, just prior to rarity farming, it seems like it's one opportunity to release at least a little something. So I'm in the wearables task force, but I myself I'm as surprised as anybody else to see that comment. And I don't know if that means, do they have a wearable release ready just for, to surprise us right before season 4, or is there something specific I have in mind, or is it an off the cuff comment? Like I really don't know, and nobody in the WTF would know either. It's just something that Pixelcraft has full autonomy on, and something that as a DAO, we could start exploring or explore at some point. Because if you think about it, it's like Haunts. Haunt 2 was initially voted down. Then eventually the vote for Haunt 2 passed overwhelmingly. There was an auction for lands coming up, and then the DAO actually voted to postpone it. With wearables, there's nobody, including the WTF, that's had kind of like that alpha or authority to say, stop the wearables releases or release more. So at the WTF, that there's some of us, like I said, we're very diverse. Some of us that have argued, there's too many wearables, especially on the high end. But somebody else could disagree and comment something else. And generally, Pixelcraft, they're of course in the thread, but generally they do not comment at all, and we don't even know exactly what they make of that. I think it has pluses and cons like anything. It's a trade-offs. I think it's good that they maintain that autonomy, and we don't have that alpha in the regard that nobody has to worry. Oh, coolness and phantasma, huh? So they know that there's a sword coming up with these stats. Wonder if they're selling or maybe they're buying. Like nobody in the DAO has to worry about that with how little um, official decision power or influence we actually have. So like I said, we're more like a focus group. I feel that when any one of us is particularly passionate about something or a particular topic, we bring it up, and then discussion happens, but then we never know exactly what might or may not happen based on that. And however, I do think that Coolness did a great job of summarizing the things that have been our biggest successes as far as finding consensus, as far as identifying stats or wearables that were saturated or were underrepresented, and we presented that to Pixelcraft as far as suggestions of wearable sets, and then they ultimately, like as I've been trying to stress, they made their own independent decision. I think the entire DAO would need to come together to change that, whether we want a task force that wants to act more independently in representing the DAO and setting, like emission limits or emission quotas for wearables or making any kind of decisions. So far, those decisions have been very safely and very securely in Pixelcraft's lap, and I think that was the main important thing that I wanted to come to share here for everybody's peace of mind. Because from time to time I see people make questions or comments like wondering exactly what we know or what we decide, yes or no, and that's pretty much it. We're really like a focus group, and everybody just shares whatever they think on any given topic, and then we never really know what, if anything, Pixelcraft does from there. But we like to think that there's been different things in the ecosystem that we've been able to leave our stamp on just by giving that extra insight to Pixelcraft in our discussions, when we have a certain idea what direction to take with wearables. Um,
Nice.
Before this, it was a good opportunity for us to recap, and we did identify visual wearables as something that we definitely can help the community on, more wearable sets, and also ARS. I think that's something that's in the white paper, and eventually, there's many in the community who would like to see it, and I think we do have the hands on deck at the wearables task force where we could actually help Pixelcraft a little bit, if the community wants to see ARS happen sooner rather than later. But that was pretty much it, as far as what I wanted to get across, and we're definitely open to take questions if anybody has them.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you for clarifying that with the wearable task force. I really have a good idea of where you guys stand. Like you said, as a focus group now. But this is a great point, and to start this conversation of, how much of a feedback does the community want from your guys' perspective? I think there's going to be a lot of room in the future, especially going into battles. The utility of wearables is going to be expanding, and to have a focus group to say, hey, you guys are kind of maybe missing this blind spot here, would be really valuable if we have the right communication channels already set up, right? So if there's a more direct communication maybe between Pixelcraft in terms of you giving feedback to them, and then being able to take that into account when they're making design decisions or anything like that. The Chainlink Marine set's like a great example of where you guys found something that kind of didn't sit right, and now we as a DAO, either as a DAO, can vote to fix it, which I don't know why we would vote no, or we just go ahead and fix it because it seems like the obvious thing to do. But I see a lot of value in what the Wearable Task Force is doing, in terms of providing like accurate feedback and analysis on wearables and their expanding utility of wearables. I'm
Yeah, I
assuming.
mean, we did. I remember when the task force started, we actually got into some discussions, and Dan and Jesse, they were all part of that. But it's tough to decide what exactly we want the WTF to be, right? Because, for instance, like the Link Marine said, that one is a no brainer, right? But for instance, in my case, I own two sets like that, so if I go and make the vote right now, people might say, "Oh, here's this WTF member, and he's making a proposal that happens to fix his bags. And why did he go with Plus Brain? Oh, look, his Gotchi is Plus Brain. So, you know, do we want to empower a task force to prioritize and assign certain decisions around our wearables? And do we have like requirements about what they do or do not own? So then we also got into discussions like, do we want people to see this channel? Do we want people to be able to write in this channel? I think back then we made the decision to kind of keep it private, and I think it was the right decision because if you look at DAO discussion, we've had recently a lot of complaints about conversations losing track, losing focus, uh, going sideways with personal attacks. So if we had that at the wearables task force, like what would we be really achieving? Considering we already like the most we do is kind of again act like a focus group that gives Pixelcraft a little bit of a sample of what different voices in the community feel about something with wearables. But I think there really is a lot of existential questions around the WTF regarding these matters like conflicts of interest, empowerment. Do we want wearables to be fully controlled by the DAO, as the DAO has been flexing that decision power for with limiting or delaying sales of stuff? Do we want to see that kind of thing happen with enforcing quantities of wearables or not?
Yeah.
There's a lot to decide, and unfortunately for you guys, I'm happy to share that it's not like we're deciding this within the WTF. I think that as a community, sooner rather or later, we have to come together and um, formally strengthen or weaken or reformalize the WTF. I think there's actually a couple of members that are very inactive, and and they're involved in other projects or other things, and you know whatever we decide, they might take that as an opportunity to recuse themselves, so we might need another vote. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's very informal right now, and if we want to see more formality coming from the WTF, we're gonna need like the DAO to help us do some redefining as to exactly what what you guys want us to deliver on that end, and how much power do you guys want us to have, and how much alpha compared to the general community. Because like I've tried to stress at the moment, it really
Yeah.
isn't much besides having our own smaller kind of more focused channel where to speak our mind as to where we have different opinions on wearables at any given time.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you touched on a point there about perception, and it's important to be mindful of perception when you're coming together like this, on something like wearables that everybody in the community owns, and you don't want anything to even be perceived as, like you mentioned, pumping your own bags because you're in the wearable task force, and the approach is actually more open than that. So I know you have like you said approximately 10 members, but the door is basically open, right? If someone in the community is you know they want to contribute to looking more into the function of wearables, providing some good feedback, the door, I guess, is it open to them to come in to join the wearables task force and provide maybe their opinions?
That's a great question. When the task forces were being created, right? We had a format where and basically anybody said, I want to be part of this, and then they put up a list, and then there was a huge vote that was just yes or no. I think at some point or recently we got to a point where people could actually vote yes or no on each candidate, and so then if you set a limit, only certain people will make the cut. But again, that's among one of the many things that we would need to decide as a DAO, as to what exactly do we want from the WTF. I think wearables are a super sensitive topic because they play a huge part in the economy, and they can also be divisive because by definition, if they're like a huge part of the economy, right? You have one end that is making big or major financial decisions on these items, and then you have another side of the economy that just wants to see as many as possible of them as frequently as possible because they simply represent opportunity, whether that's an opportunity to play in a raffle, an opportunity to just have fun. So I think that that's going to be always a sensitive topic, and right now, um, because of that, the power, the decision power, the alpha has been heavily on Pixelcraft's side. Somebody would ultimately, or some of us would need to say, you know what, it's time or it's not time, or we want to see more community suggested initiatives take place, or decisions versus it's really tricky because in many other things we're already like I feel that mired in debates like, well, turn on spillover, turn it off, um, sell land right now, don't sell it. So it could get really tricky if like I guess I'm thinking out loud, are we ready to start getting into all these topics regarding which wearables we print or which ones we don't, or if we stop the emissions. Again, I think there's been a growing consensus, not just in the WTF, but in the DAO overall, that like these other things, a mixture of certain economic realities, etc., has put us more a little bit of a oversupply in items. Whether you look at it in fiat terms or whatever, selling sometimes at all-time lows. So that makes you think: do you really want to print more? So depending on where you stand, are you an investor? Do you want to see more mythical items and see them, trading maybe or selling even lower than than when you got them a year ago? Or are you just looking to have fun and you're in it for the art and you just want to see as many wearables? So there's very different perspectives on that, and I think ideally a WTF helps us like um, be organized and peaceful, and find like the sweet spots for these decisions, instead of getting into discussions, into factions, and
Yeah,
into all that bad stuff. But again,
yeah.
it's tough to manage because it's central to the economy and people are going to have very different ideas. So yeah, I mean, I can't speak on behalf of the whole WTF, but as a member of the WTF, I would definitely reach out to all of you and ask you guys to also give importance to this and participate in the DAO, saying, we want to see this or that from the WTF, or we want the community to have more or less power, decision power regarding wearables. Um, yeah, I
I
think that's all
appreciate
I got
that.
for now.
Sorry, go ahead, Zombie Shepherd. You were saying something?
Oh no, that wasn't me.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say I can appreciate the WTF's cautious approach. I can appreciate their openness to everything, and also I think they're gonna play a bigger role in terms of providing feedback as we're moving forward with wearables, the utility of wearables. I think you mentioned non kind of utility wearables as well. There's going to be a bunch of talking points, and it is up to the community for us to decide, when the right time is going to be to start talking about those things. But at the same time, happy to see that there's a base being built for when these conversations are going to be really, they're going to be really at the forefront of at what our community is talking about at certain points. And I'm glad we have the wearables task force there to provide like some really helpful insights. so we don't go around so we don't go off the side roads, because it's really easy to take these discussions sometimes around wearables, where everybody has different wearables, so their incentives might not be aligned perfectly on every wearable. And being able to provide some healthy insights is going to be really valuable in those moments.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dr. Wagme just made a fantastic point. Like we're having these uh, last minute decisions, regarding the Gotchiverse. So he's saying basically, imagine this upon the next wearables release. A new set of wearables comes, and people say, well, wait a second, that's duplicating the radar and monocle stats yet again. What the hell? And wearables are tanking, and people say, well, what is the WTF doing? And then WTF says, oh, we had no idea. And then we're having a last minute veto or the next raffle or GBM sale, and so basically that's pretty awful. So if the DAO is getting involved in decisions about other assets, um, we're probably nearing that time where we need to get involved with the rest as well, which is wearables, or make the decision that we actually don't. But it would be best to get into those conversations now before there's an impending drop of wearables and last minute
Yeah.
changes like it's being affected in other corners of our ecosystem right now.
Yeah, for
Yeah, and
sure.
to piggyback, oh, I'm sorry, Heavy. I was just gonna
I
say
was
to
just gonna
piggyback on what Phantasma is saying,
go
largely
ahead.
in the perspective that we may not need any more immediate BRS modifying wearables, but we can open up things completely on the verse side of things, right? You have the purely aesthetic, the cosmetic. You could have all the same slots that you have on the rarity farming side, and then you could still give those traits that just in essence don't modify the BRS. So they could still be plus or minus in the same direction, the equivalent of 20 BRS points, for instance, for a mythical one. And you could do that purely on the aesthetic side, where it does not affect rarity farming in any way. So there's endless possibilities on the aesthetic cosmetic side. So if there is a desire, which there always will be for cooler, newer wearables, we just don't have to dilute the rarity farming side of things,
Yeah.
especially when they're not needed probably to a large degree. I mean, how many high BRS gotchis need mythical items? We're probably at that point. How many need legendary? We're probably at that point. So we can get creative on the cosmetic side, but maybe we don't need to do too much on the rarity farming side of things. I think that's really where I think the task force would like to see things go. But yeah, we definitely need to see more inputs from the community. So I would definitely from here I'll vote to open a channel in the DAO section to have more inputs from the community to the wearables task force.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely appreciate your guys' insights. Let's keep the conversation going around this, like for future discussions, whether that's a summit or we could even do like a Twitter space around this, for all the Gotchi gang members. I think this is a really valuable conversation, and that's become apparent right here. Just talking to you guys, that we should be talking more about this, but. For today, I think we've got plenty, for people to chew on, and let's keep that conversation going. I really appreciate you guys taking the time here today to present on the wearables task force.
Yep, sure thing.
Yeah, that was really great. Good to hear from the task forces there. All three of them actually were able to present. I'm happy to hear. These are going to be important for the foundation of the Gotchiverse as we're moving through so many different decisions we're going to have to make as builders of this game. It's not just Pixelcraft. We're actually helping build this game right now, and it's going to be our opinions are taken into account at every step, right? Because we are a DAO, so the more conversations we can have around this stuff, the stronger or the better, I guess, experience we're going to build for everybody coming in that's new. So, with that being said, what do we have here next? We got the game builders. So we have quite a few game builders throughout the day that have mentioned that they wanted to participate in this. So if you are a game builder, I'd love for you to. We don't have an exact list, but I know there was like Ernani. There was some devs from the Shigachi Bulls. There was Musashi wanted to talk about metaverse builders, I believe. So we could start off. Maybe we can kick off with. I know Musashi, you wanted to talk on the Builders DAO, or if I got that wrong, just correct me. But your opportunity to talk about what you're kind of working on, what projects you're involved with.
Sure, and it's meta builders. There's too many metas out there now. Sorry. um, so meta builders is kind of a branding service, a marketing guild. Um, we are bringing together a lot of different communities, and Aavegotchi is one of those that I have particularly in mind. I'd like to see how we can, really cross-pollinate each other's ecosystems. So we're partnering with a lot of different communities that already do like NFT and gaming shows where they, present new things that are coming out and things like that. So we'll be doing a lot of media stuff. So I plan on hooking up with a lot of you who already are putting together media and already do shows so that we can kind of combine all of our efforts. I'll drop site for everybody if you want. I know it's not this is not directly for Aavegotchi alone, Aavegotchi is one of the communities that I have in mind to really connect with this and really be able to pump out each of our own guilds as well as the overall ecosystem, kind of broaden our range of reach, and also kind of have an opportunity for others to engage and contribute and get paid. We're going to be building out ecosystems for a lot of communities, and we have a lot of clients coming in already. But it's just a lot of fun to be able to have this infrastructure in place that I needed to launch a lot of my projects I want to launch, I am launching, and I have already launched. And the guild is a part of that. MSG is a part of that. Aavegotchi is a part of that. I kind of already mentioned the cloud ship thing that we're doing, and I will be reaching out over the course of the next month for that. But yeah, I literally went from one presentation in Meta Builders to here, where we kind of said, "Hey, this is who we are." We'll be putting out a recording of that, so you guys can kind of review that if you want. But great time to pop in and get together, really see how we can help pump out each other's ecosystems, support each other's projects, and make sure that the creators that you all are all valued properly.
Yeah,
That's it.
I 100% agree with that.
And
Yeah,
thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for speaking on meta builders. Actually, that's something I was a little bit curious about. You mentioned something about the cloud ship. Is that right? Do you want
Yeah.
to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Moloch Cloud Ship actually came out of my desire to um, build out a gamified events meeting space for Aavegotchi members. And over the course of me searching the right metaverse to do exactly what I wanted to do, I was testing this metaverse and that metaverse for about 3 years, about 3 years. And I finally found the right one. It's Neos, and now we're moving to basically multiverse spaces. But this is going to be it's moved into Moloch Cloud Ship because during that time I was working with all these other DAOs that had all these commonality problems that they were running into, and And so Mullet Cloudship moved from just like an events meeting space to more of a gamified workspace for DAOs that could break down barriers between DAOs, collaborate more, allow us to have more efficient work, be able to work within the metaverse in a more efficient manner. Um, and then, kind of silo a lot of the things that we already do. We store data in multiple places. We vote on DAOs in multiple places. We, write our documents in multiple places. So there's a commons area for like the Dome of DAOs where you can vote. You can see all the DAOs you're in and vote and all the proposals you can see. And there's a open source library that's a great library that has everyone's open source files, and dApps and games and all that. So we're really trying to connect
Amazing.
everybody together that way. What's that, Hefe?
That's amazing that you have all those resources in one place for people to access open source.
Yeah, man, it's really exciting. We even have some publication writers, and scientific publication public. I should, I'm having a brain fart on the word publishers, scientific and academic publishers that are interested in this decentralized library. They're looking to get out of. They want to keep their high level of scrutiny on, peer to peer scrutiny on the documents, but they want to X out the corporate overlords that basically control who gets published or not. So they're looking at that as a great idea. They want to be represented on the cloud ship in the great library. A lot of fun stuff coming together. So really excited to engage the Aavegotchi community over the course of the next month.
Looking forward to that.
Especially our world.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. We'll be keeping an eye out from, announcements from maybe you specifically or on behalf of MSG, because I know you're closely tied with with that guild.
Yeah, I'll make sure that that you guys are informed here, and I'll grab some links for you to drop here.
Yeah, definitely. If you have any resources and stuff, we can make it happen. If you need promotion, or you can always talk to us. We can help you out with that. Thank you for giving us a little insight into what you're doing there at Moloch with the cloud ship. That's going to be awesome.
Thank you.
We also have a couple more presenters up here. I know Ryder created this sweet mini game. I haven't got to try it out yet. I don't know if it's in testing or whatnot, but I'd be interested to hear kind of your experience building this mini game, and also your kind of outlook for what you're hoping this to be.
Yeah, thanks for having me. How's my sound?
You sound great.
All right, cool. Yeah, I've been enjoying the summit. Thanks for putting this together. Cool to see how much is going on in Aavegotchi right now. It's like pretty mind blowing. But yeah, I can take you through Gotchi Jam. So I was working on this idea for a couple months, just kind of playing around with it and posting stuff on Twitter. And was able to get it eventually into kind of a playable state. So just recently started kind of working on it a little bit more seriously, and along the way, started talking to Humble Bagger, and who's the leader of the Chaigotchi Bulls. So we started talking about the game, and he was interested, and obviously the basketball guild is kind of a perfect match with this game. Of course, that was always kind of in mind when building this, that there's a basketball guild. So I think we had talked a few months back about he was into the game and we may want to do something together. So just started kind of partnering up on kind of take it in more of a legit direction, about where the project could go. And there's been some good interest from the community. Put out a little test net of the game around July 4th weekend, and a bunch of people came in and played. And I've been hanging out in the Shigachi Bulls Discord channel. I made a new channel in there that's for talking about this game. So anyone feel free to just come in the channel and share your thoughts about what you'd want to see in a basketball game in the Gotchiverse. Really, this came out of just like wanting to build something really fun for the community, get people involved, and kind of just see where we can go with this. Like, always kind of had an affinity for the Aavegotchi set and the basketball wearable, and it just always struck me as something that would be perfect for a mini game. And then from there, it feels like there's a lot you could do with this kind of game. And now I have kind of the basic mechanics of it working. You can shoot, you can run around the court, you can dribble. So we're thinking about the next steps. Like, we can add in kind of multiplayer. So that's what I'm really thinking about now, is like a one-on-one mode. So that's something that I'm excited about. But there's a ton of ideas floating around about how we can have kind of a DAO built around this and the Shigachi Bulls Guild. And really interested in what Jesse was talking about this morning, and the discussion about Parcel. I think there's a lot of cool stuff going on right now that we can kind of take advantage of. Of course, also the DAO Treasury Task Force. So yeah, I'm super interested in all these different avenues. But I want this to be kind of like a community game that comes from Gotchi Gang, and we got some music from other Gotchi Gang members in it, from the Sus Peppa Fly drop there. So FaZe is already represented in there. Interested in talking to other people about what they want to see, and if people want to get involved in some way, just come into the Shigachi Bulls Discord, say hi, and share your thoughts. The test version of the game is up at gotchijam.xyz. You can go up there and play. And there's bugs currently, because people wanted to see the game, so I kind of rushed to get it onto a test net so people could start playing around with it. So don't mind if you run into a few bugs, but I'll get those ironed out. Have like a block of time over the next month. I'm going to be able to work on this game more. So I'll like make a big push, try to get some cool features in there, and just kind of see where it takes us. Yeah, it's been a fun project and really enjoying it. So feel free to jump in, share your thoughts, and let us know what you'd want to see in there. And I think it'll be a fun. Hopefully, we could have a more official launch, and we would like to do like a competitive kind of tournament style thing in the future. I think we're still a ways away from that. Build out some tech for that to work, but I'm inspired by all the other people building, and I think eventually we'll get to something cool that everyone can play, and hopefully we can have some prizes and some kind of rewards like built into the game in some way.
Yeah, exactly. That ties into kind of like the ETF discussion earlier, is the ability to be able to collaborate with the mini game dev after he's done building his game, and be able to actually get now the community quickly onboarded through like an event and start like stress testing the game. I think is going to be really valuable for like games like yours, where you're kind of pushing the boundary of your kind of like development with this game, and there's going to be a few like bugs and stuff, but the quicker we can break the game, the quicker we can fix it and then make like a sound like a sound game where we can have like a competition with like rewards and stuff around it. So
Yeah,
the community is
that's
definitely there to help you, in this
yeah,
vision.
thanks. Yeah, thanks so much for everyone who came in and checked out the game, and a lot of really good feedback so far. And yeah, I think thinking of it kind of like I don't want to just come in, make a game, and then just leave and not maintain it. I want to kind of do something that's a little bit ambitious that we can kind of grow into the game and build it up over time. And I think of it as like a platform that people can use it and stream, play with friends, and like not just kind of a one shot event. But we would like to have some events on there, but
Yeah,
a little bit ambitious. We'll see, how much we can get accomplished. But I feel like it's better to kind of shoot ambitious, and maybe we kind of change the plans as we go, but start off kind of with like a big dream behind it.
Yeah, no, I see the vision now, and really looking forward to like more further developments in the mini game space. I'll probably be reaching out to you at some point because I'm trying to figure out how to make my. I created like a little Web 2 mini game. It's kind of dumb, but I'm gonna make something actually better. I learned off that one, and I'll maybe try making an actual game that runs with Web 3 infrastructure. So I'll try and, just as you're learning off everyone else, I might have to try and pick up a couple things from you. So.
It's fun, man. Like, yeah, I've been enjoying it, and yeah, we'll see. I would want to kind of like make it into a little bit of a game company, along with the support of Shagachi Bulls. So, we want to help out with, we want to kind of just be building games over here, and for now we'll focus on this one game so we can give it all of our focus, but kind of open to other games in the future and playing around.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Thank you for breaking down what you're doing, and then your guys' vision for the game, and also now a little alpha that there'll be other games down the pipeline eventually. So
Oh yeah,
we'll support you
we'll see.
however we can. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, for sure. Next up, we have. I know we're going on kind of long here, guys. So we will have Ernani come up as one of the last presenters here. I know we had a few people approach us during the day here in regards to like a builder's presentation. So if I do miss you, definitely just ping me right now, and you can, we'll add you to the list right now after Ernani. But we're getting close to the end here. I encourage you guys just stick around for the last little bit here at the end, because we do have something for you guys to fill out, and it's in your highly in your best interest to fill it out, so we can give you maybe some party favors later that you'll appreciate. So we're getting close to the end. Just hang in there. We're gonna get Ernani to come up here. He's gonna talk on Orium and the tools they've been building, their experiences dealing with Aavegotchi, building out this. One of their known tools is. I'll let him speak on that. But Ernani.eth of Orium Guild is on stage.
Hey, hello everyone. Can you guys hear me well?
Yeah, we can hear. Yeah, hear you loud and clear. Actually, you're coming through good.
Perfect. Yeah. So, like I said on the guild presentation a couple hours ago, we started on the whole play to earn scene in the very beginning, and I am very passionate about the whole concept of guilds, scholarships, and play to earn. I think in the metaverse, everything you do, every effort you put into to earn something, it has value, right? It has value. And the whole idea of having guilds, these organizations that are focusing on onboarding people, bringing more people to these digital communities, digital ecosystem, I think it's brilliant. Today, we even had some games being launched, just by being funded by guilds, right? Guilds buy those tokens and NFTs and pre-sales, and they help fund the game, they bring the community, and so on. So, yeah, we started this last year, and because of my background in software engineering, I have worked in the Consensus for a number of years. If you guys don't know, that's the company that develops MetaMask, which I'm sure you guys know. I have worked in Goldman Sachs, which is a huge US bank. Because of this background that I have in the software engineering, I was also, very interested on the idea of automating everything around guilds, right? Because I firmly believe that that's the best tool that we have on the metaverse to onboard new people, right? And we desperately need tools. We desperately need tools. A lot of guilds activities, they are being built, they're being made manual. So that's definitely a problem that I knew that I want to dedicate myself to. So I want to share my screen and show you guys our internal platform. Talk a little bit about the philosophy that we have with that platform, and more about the tools that we intend to develop with it. Can you guys see my screen right now?
Yeah, I can see it.
Looks good.
Yeah, we're good.
Perfect. So this is like I said, an internal platform. As of right now, it's 100% operational, but we haven't publicly launched yet. It's still a couple of things to finalize before we launch. And it's essentially a platform tailored for guilds and for players that want to borrow and lend NFTs, right? So on my screen right now, as you can see, we can see two guilds. We can see Iron Guild Brazil and Iron Guild International. This is just how we internally organize ourselves. We have a huge community in Brazil, and we also have a separate Discord, entire separate guild that just focus on the more international community. So there's a lot of people from the Philippines. We have community managers in the Philippines on that guild. So yeah, this is the separation that you see here is just internally how we organize ourselves. So if I click in one of these guilds, you are essentially going to see a summary of the operations of that guild, right? So yeah, like I said, Orion has experimenting with, we actually operate in 4 different games, and we have experimented with others in the past. So here you see how many scholars we have only in the Brazilian entity. We have about the same in the international entity. We have the number of scholarships. So generally speaking, scholars, they play more than one game, so they borrow assets in more than one game, and that translates to more scholarships than unique users. That's why you see 900 here and 500 here. And finally, all the games where we have active scholarships, right? Actual users borrowing and monetizing those assets. So Aavegotchi obviously is a huge game for us. It's one of our focus. We have more than 300 people on our whitelist, and the reason why we have no NFTs is because we operate currently in Aavegotchi just through our partnership with the Gotchi Vault, right? So they supply all the Gotchis that our community ends up using. And we also have the other games that they operate on, right? So Fancy Birds is an initiative that we recently started. If you follow us on Twitter, we recently started a partnership with them where we bought a really large sum of birds, and we want to integrate with their smart contract with our platform. Axie Infinity is still a big part of our business. We have been operating on the game for so long. Unfortunately, the game has lacking on has lost the focus on building and focused on other things, which is a little bit sad. But we have been at the platform for a really long time, and we want to keep incentivizing the community of being around. I think that's important. And we also have a couple of experiments on Pegaxi and Titan Arena. Titan Arena, our experiment was not successful. They have a very different model. They are also on Binance's Smart Chain, which is something new for us. But Pegaxi has been really fruitful. We are also in touch with the Pegaxi team. They are on Polygon. I think this partnership is really gonna fly. But yeah, this is basically an introduction of everything that we're trying to do, right? We want to be a platform that integrates with multiple play-to-earn games and provide this seamless experience to NFT owners, to guild owners, and to players, right? Each of these ecosystem participants, they will be able to come to our platform and they will be able to, provide NFTs for guilds to monetize. They can be players applying to scholarships. They can be guild owners managing their scholarship programs. Orion Network is essentially working on a platform that will support all these ecosystem participants. And here I have 2 or 3 more pages regarding how we see overall performance of scholarship programs. I can select, for example, our operations on Axie Infinity, and it's going to give me a bunch of stats, how many scholars are coming in, how many scholars are coming out on the past 30 days, how many SLPs being made, how much belongs to the scholar, how much belongs to the guild, what is the average daily SLP per user, all this sort of stuff, right? So we recently actually completely removed fees for Axie Infinity. That's why the guild participation here is 0, because we are not charging anymore. At this point, we're just letting people play with them without paying any share to the guild. You can see also for Pegaxi, and unfortunately, it would be great if we could show it already. We're still working on our dashboard for Aavegotchi. We are working on, with the Pixelcraft team on how to integrate that data into our platform. But what I can...
Very nice UI. I was going to say very nice UI. It looks very promising based on some of the other games you've already established there. Aavegotchi is going to be really interesting to see those stats, once they're populated there.
Yeah, Aavegotchi, we are so excited about Aavegotchi because, as you can see, we've been operating in multiple play-to-earn games. And Aavegotchi is the most decentralized project that we have seen. It operates in a very decentralized way, meaning that, major decisions, major changes, they come through the DAO. We have visibility over those, and we have a voice of what they are doing. But from the platform perspective, what's most important for us is how decentralized they are, because having everything on chain, it helps a lot with the integration process, right? A lot of these other games that we have been trying to integrate to, for example, Axie Infinity, Pegaxi, and so on, they're still very centralized. What does that mean? You have NFTs, they are decentralized, but issuance of tokens, how you play the game itself. There is a lot happening on the game's own server, right? And Aavegotchi, I think, has managed to differentiate itself, sets itself apart from everyone else, simply because a lot of the game's logic, right, how the games works, it's based on smart contracts. It's not an API of a game developer out there. So we have a huge focus right now on Aavegotchi. Is our main. It's going to be our main platform. We have full vision and expectation of that. So we're going to be putting a lot of effort into launching that with full Aavegotchi support. But I also wanted to show a little bit more of what you'll be able to do once we have those integrations done. So I'm sorry about showing so much of Axie Infinity, but we have been there for a year and a half at this point. So we have a lot of tools in place for that, but we essentially want to make the equivalents for... Yeah. But we will make the equivalents for Aavegotchi when we launch it. That's absolutely for sure. What you can see here is basically, a large part of operating scholarship programs is identifying who are the best performers and who are the worst performers. So the worst performers, you definitely want to reach out to them, to figure out what's going on, what's wrong, how can we help you improve? Did you don't understand how to play the game? Are you having any difficulties? Can we provide another NFT to help you out? So these dashboards, they operate a key role for that, because you can identify these users, you can reach out to them on Discord. In the case of Axie Infinity, we already integrated with the actual wallet that has the NFT, so you can see the NFTs that are allocated to that user, this type of thing. So yeah, this part of the platform is going to be all around, identifying where your best performance, where your worst performance, and how you can use that information to improve your community's efficiency. And finally, last and not least, something that we are also really excited about building is, a lot of these games, they have internal rankings. If you are one of the top players, you get a ton of tokens, things like that. But only a very small number of players are going to be in the top. And that can be quite discouraging because the amount of effort that you need to put in order to get there, it's a long road. It's not a short road. And a lot of these people, they are professionals, right? They are doing this full time, they're streaming, so on. So one of the things that we also wanted to introduce is competition within your own organization, right? So one of the key goals that you can have in your journey as a play-to-earn player would be to become the best performer player on your organization, on your guild, right? And that's what we are embedding in the platform. So here you see a dashboard where we see the best players in terms of tokens generated and in terms of MMR, which is every game has a way of calculating their ranking, and this is one of them. So gamifying the guild experience is also something very important, and one of the pillars of what we want to do moving forward. We have a lot of plans for gamifying the guild experience. A lot of these people that you see here on this list, our community managers, they know them very well, but it's not possible to learn more about them on the platform, and that's what we want to build. It's a problem of knowing your scholar. I think it's what GldnX called it a couple of times, and that we want to tackle, right? So essentially, what we want to do is we want to enable people to essentially build their digital identity directly on the platform. So you'll be able to connect your Discord, connect your email, connect your MetaMask. We're going to support the running wallet in the future. And the reason why the user would do that is to essentially add more credibility to his or her profile. So when you apply for a scholarship program, you're able to see all these different connections that the user has made, and you have more confidence that that person is not just a random person that applied, received this scholarship, played a couple times and left. You'll be able to see a complete profile of that user, and most importantly, that's what we're really excited about. We also want to see the past performance of that user on other scholarship programs. So the platform you ended up becoming, your digital CV on the blockchain, right? You have your entire past performing. Just by reading the blockchain, we can see, how many tokens have you won on a specific game? What other game activities have you executed on chain? And we're going to use all that information to essentially build your digital identity on the Orion platform. And that credibility will help you get other things on the platform, right? So you'll be able to get scholarships, launch your own organization because people will know that you have experience on that, and so on. So that's essentially what Orion has been working on. We want to empower. There is a lot of people in the Aavegotchi community, that they are one-man guild type of thing. No Futuristic, I know his name has come up a couple of times. He's a very good example. And we want to empower these people, right? We want these people to launch their guilds and to make on-chain contracts with their customers, with their clients, to monetize their assets on their behalf, right? That's our core mission with the product that we're building. And hopefully we're making several partnerships to make that happen. We're in touch with the Pixelcraft team. We're in touch with the Fancy DAO from Gotchiverse. We're in touch with the Aavegotchi team, and so on. So there's a lot of partnerships that I wanted to announce, but unfortunately I can't can't until we sign a couple of papers. But yeah, hopefully I'll announce in a few weeks. And yeah, get excited, guys, because we are. I'm very passionate about this. I've been doing this for a few years full time already, and definitely our community is definitely here to stay. So yeah, really excited about everything that we're gonna be building in the future.
Wow, yeah, impressive platform that you built so far, even from your experiences in other games. It shows there, and we can't wait to for you guys to implement that for the Gotchiverse, because I could see this tool being useful not only for the one man guild, but also the guild that's involved in many other games, kind of like yourselves. That's they're trying to manage players that are working across many different games. So really great presentation on that, and hope to catch up with you soon as we make more developments. Maybe we can do an AMA. I was also going to suggest maybe drop the Orium invite link for your Discord channel for any other members in here or other guild members that may want to contact you, or just check out what Orium is about. Get involved.
Yeah, feel free to add me also. I'm happy to talk. It's a product that we're building for guilds, so we are obviously very interested on talking with guilds, learning more about their problems to help them solve them. Right. Sometimes I feel like Orion has been caught up too much on a large scale type of guild, because we have 1,100 unique users on our community, right? So everything we do, we cannot do manually. We cannot do just for one person. We need to build the tools to do that. And sometimes I feel like we lose the focus of the small issues that small guilds have. And this is important because actually the guild market is extremely fragmented. All the data that we saw, the average guild has 15 to 25 users. That's the average organization out there. YGG with its 20,000 scholarships, they're not 10% of the market. They're not as relevant as most people expect. So we have that very clearly in mind, and that's our main customer, because those small and medium-sized guilds, they also don't have the resources that big organizations have. And yeah, we are here to serve them and help them figure out how to scale.
Excellent. Yeah, looking forward to that. And again, thank you for presenting today twice and having two great presentations. So we'll definitely have to catch up at the next summit, because I'm curious to know the developments, with your app, and how the users of Aavegotchi are using your app. That's gonna be
I even forgot to show, but we actually have an Android app already published on the Google Play Store, only available Android. Right now, it's on alpha. We're only testing it with our scholars, but all the information that you saw, we're essentially putting that on an Android app and making it available for scholars, right? Because we want to enable people to just download the app, connect to MetaMask, connect to Discord, apply to scholarship program, and start playing, right? Right, all inside our a single app. So yeah, hopefully on the next Guild Summit, we will have a first version of the platform published, and with a lot of big plans and integrations coming up.
Yeah, sounds good. Look forward to it. I see. Yeah. Okay. So I mean, for the day here, we're almost wrapped up. We got one more presenter. We got Music Parkour in the house, and I'd love to hear from them on what they're actually building, because I believe there's an Aavegotchi partnership that was just announced regarding that. And then after that, we're basically going to hand out a feedback form. We'd like all you guys to fill it out, because we do have something for you. Once you fill it out. So definitely do that. But if you can hang in there for a little bit longer, we got Music Parkour, and I'd love to hear from them in regards to what they're building and their recent partnership with Aavegotchi. So we got Crypto Gotchi in the house. If you're able to, there you are. You're on stage.
All right, sounds still good?
Yeah, you sound great.
Great. So, well, first of all, thank you so much for the invite. And of course, to everyone who is still around, you guys are truly dedicated. And also, mad respect to Coder Dan. We keep seeing him popping back in here, try-harding through the night. Like, what a champ. Okay, so first I'm gonna say a little bit about the game itself, and then about what we have in mind for the partnership. So yeah, let's get started. You guys are still awake, right?
Oh, yeah, we're awake, man. Actually, looking forward to this this presentation. We saved the best for last.
Definitely stoked.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. I'm very humbled by that. Well, Music Parkour is an upcoming rhythm obstacle course VR game. So what does that even mean? So while you traverse an obstacle course in virtual reality, you move, strike, and dodge to the rhythm of the beat. And if your timing and accuracy is good enough, you'll earn points for every obstacle that you clear. And if you own one of our Ring NFTs, these points can even be converted into crypto tokens. However, you are not the only person to receive tokens when you complete a course. A certain amount of tokens will go to the person who created that course, and another amount goes to the musician or copyright holder of the song for which that course was created. So Music Parkour is not just a play-to-earn game, but it also features build-to-earn for course makers, as well as license-to-earn for musicians or copyright holders of musical works. Initially, songs for building courses will be provided by us. Like we will launch with 4 beautifully made custom songs, but we'll also offer whitelisted musicians to publish their songs to our app. But eventually, we'll aim to offer this in a trustless manner via third-party verification services. Something like Eureka comes to mind, which is a Web3 solution to protect musicians' rights. Publishing a course, so after you build the course in our level editor, you can choose to publish it, which is basically minting a course NFT for you. And that will cost you a beat fee. Beat is the name of our main crypto token. And by creating an awesome and fun course and publishing it, you stand a very good chance to make back what you paid to mint the NFT, as well as probably a lot on top of it, because whenever someone plays your course, you will also receive a certain amount of the reward. So if you make a really popular course that everyone's enjoying, then you'll be able to earn a lot of our tokens. At the same time, this beat fee de-incentivizes people from just like spamming out low-quality courses that no one wants to play. If you take a look at our website, mupa.io, mupa.io. Actually, I can put it in the chat.
Yeah, that would be great. Or I can try. I'll try.
Probably have
HTTPS.
Yeah, thanks.
I got it already. Oh, so one of our members is on it. Thanks, OXC5.
Yeah, thank you very much. So the images that, and this is some alpha, like first time sharing this. The images we published so far on there show only our first environment. We call it the grassland environment. However, the game will ship with 4 different environments, and those assets are already made. So we finished those already, and but not everyone has access to every environment. Our obstacles have similar dimensions in these different environments. So as a course builder, you only have to build your course once, and then a user can play that course in whatever environment they most enjoy. Of course, they need to unlock it first or buy it if it's an environment that can be bought. Some environments will be very exclusive. For example, there will be one environment that will be exclusive to holders of our Genesis NFT rings. That's actually my favorite one. And this brings me to the second part of what I wanted to talk about, which is the partnership with Aavegotchi. While you might have noticed that we are running some high EV giveaways on Twitter, we plan to extend our partnership beyond just giveaways for the communities. But that said, you should totally join our giveaway if you have not done so already, because it's a great chance to get like a high kinship, high XP Gotchi and a Parcel. So for our corporation, we plan to provide an exclusive Gotchiverse environment for our shared community members, so that it'll look and feel like you're really parkouring through the Gotchiverse in virtual reality. That said, we have yet to discuss details with Pixelcraft regarding licensing of the Gotchiverse IP, because we can't just make these assets and publish them as we heard before. But yeah, since we are incorporated, we are a registered private limited company. As far as I understood Jesse's talk before, there shouldn't be much of an obstacle, pun intended, to this.
Not for you guys.
Another Gotchi-related addition to music parkour that we are thinking about is creating 3D Gotchis, 3D models for Gotchis and wearables in the same hand-painted style as the rest of our game, so that you'll be able to play with your very own Gotchi in music parkour. We would just check on chain what your Gotchi's attributes are and then assemble it based off of these 3D models. And since we love Aavegotchi's architect community, we're also planning to eventually make these 3D Gotchis available to all the architects so that they can include these three-dimensional Gotchis in whatever games they want to make. So with that, I say thank you very much for your time and for listening. Since it's already very late for most participants, I suggest that we postpone any major questions to a dedicated AMA. I personally really enjoyed all the AMA XP events last year. If you guys did too, maybe we could all ask PC very, very nicely if they might consider hosting music parkour in an AMA XP event. With rarity farming coming up, timing couldn't be better, right? So with that, thank you very much for listening, and please check out music parkour on mupa.io and make sure to participate in our giveaways and stay awesome.
I think you just blew everyone's mind here, to be honest.
Man, you got the pitches polished, man. That was an enjoyable
I think
experience.
you really just blew everyone's mind here. We're just kind of all in shock and awe that you're basically able to take the Gotchiverse experience to a whole nother level here with VR. Not even in the realm of our thinking or possibility. And, you know, the 3D models, you know, being pulled from on-chain traits, that's going to be another huge thing. You just dropped a whole bunch of alpha on, you know, working with architects and builders. Like, I'm sure that's got everyone in this room pretty excited on what you guys are doing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
And I agree with that XP event. I think we should definitely reach out to Jesse gldnXross, see what that, you know, I think I agree with you there. The timing couldn't be better for an XP AMA. So let's definitely make that happen. And just like we have this group of people here, let's build awareness around this, because I feel like this is going to be huge, to be honest.
Yeah, thank you for the praise. I feel the same, obviously.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for closing out basically the Guild Summit. That's it, folks. That was the whole Guild Summit. I'm so glad that we had excellent retention throughout the whole day. You know, people were engaged. The comments have been great. And really just showing the strength of our community here. How many other Discords out there have events like this right now? I don't know too many that are having a virtual GeckoCon based on Aavegotchi, basically. Um, it's really amazing. And also thank you to everybody who's been supporting the summit here. We have a group of people in the background that have been monitoring the chats, that have been doing a little bit of the backstage planning, moderating the Discord here. So really appreciate that. We got Zombie Shepherd, who's streaming the event. We got OXZ5, who was dealing with all the other surrounding aspects of our Guild Summit here, dropping the links in the chat and just keeping the flow really smooth. And then last of all, I'd like to thank all the attendees for showing up to the first inaugural Guild Summit. We honestly had really humble expectations for what this might be, and you guys have all blown us away with your attendance. So, pat yourselves on the back and really feel proud that you're part of Gotchi Gang. It's a special community. And with that being said, I want to make sure that Mike Callum has a few words, as well as Zombie Shepherd, as my co-hosts. You definitely, if you have any insights, anything you took away from this that you thought was worth reiterating, or anything for the future that you want to mention, I think now's a good time.
I'm going to keep it short. Well, I'm going to try to keep it short because there's just so much to expand on, right? But in general, it's basically exactly what you're saying. Something that Smokescreens reminded me, because we also went to GeckoCon here recently, and something that was observed is that Aavegotchi community had a community lounge inside of the little VR element of the GeckoCon experience, and we're one of the few communities represented even there. And so our enrichment and engagement, the 100+ members on calls, the consistency of Friday night GMI sync-ups, just all the work, guys. The attention and the work is going to pay off. Resilience is going to be rewarded. And just very impressed to see so many interested people and parties participating and just sharing all this development inside of this one particular ecosystem. And if we continue to provide like the attention span that we are, man, it just really provides the enthusiasm and inspiration for the builders to just keep shipping. So appreciate everybody being here. And for me, another big shout out to Parcel. Parcel specifically decided to get involved with a unique, weird thing that was happening inside this little game economy ecosystem NFT project. And this is a little bit out of their element, but they see the value and they see the potential synergy. And so it's just really nice to see projects outside of our ecosystem start to see the value of who we are. So thanks again to Parcel for seeing the value and supporting what we're doing here. And so we'll keep moving forward. And that's it for me. But I appreciate everybody just supporting the project. We're going to keep onward and upward. I'm looking forward to what GMI is getting competed with. It's going to be nice to see the expansions.
I don't want to cut you off, but everybody needs to get in the Gotchiverse at the GMI parcels right now. For real.
Okay, I'm on it.
I think they still have the UI enabled. Yeah, I think they still have the UI enabled there for that. So we can definitely jump in there. Oh yeah, we got. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you have no idea. You have no idea. No, there's a giant spillover right around our parcel. It's just like it's been dumped on us, friends.
Dude, let's get in there.
For real. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Then, get in there.
Well then,
yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna mention just right at the end there, we got DJ Super Paul getting ready to line up. He is gonna do a little set at the end of the show to have a little bit of a fireworks per se. So we're definitely gonna pick up some Alchemica and probably listen to some sick beats here in a bit. But we also want to get a feedback form out, right?
Yeah. And I just wanted to say to close, my closing statements is just that, I'm so happy to see that this went off so well. Everybody's showing up out here, showing out strong. It's been great. You know, there's a lot to unpack here, and I'm going to be breaking this stuff down into more digestible content from the RSS feed and getting some stuff uploaded to our YouTube channels and stuff. But yeah, like particularly what you know, Parcel, we're going to do a follow-up with Parcel where you'll actually get to learn a lot more about how that works. And then what Jesse dropped on us today is actually going to spark a whole nother follow-up event, hopefully on July 30th, when we do our artist summit. So we want all of our community artists and musicians and everybody to come out, and we're going to have this kind of event focused solely on artists. And yeah, so that's kind of my closing thoughts.
That's definitely an important plug. I'll echo that. You know, the Artist Guild Summit, we don't want to forget the artists of the Gotchiverse who have been here with us the whole time during this call. We want to make sure we recognize those guys and throw a special summit just for the artists, the Artist Summit. And hopefully this inspires some cool artwork that comes out of the Gotchiverse as well. I know art is a big aspect of what we're trying to do here with NFTs, and it's only natural, you know, to have the Gotchiverse be a home for a lot of really cool artwork. So definitely looking forward to that. We're gonna have a lot of conversations around that, and hopefully pretty soon here, within a couple weeks, we'll make sure we have an artist summit for all this, for all the dope artists in our space.
Man, I really want to thank Pixelcraft for just making it rain on us right there, huh? That's what you get for being an OG, you know? Yeah, everybody who stuck it out got rewarded. Look at that.
GMI Parcel right there. That was one of a few rewards you might want to stick around for. We got this form. Do you guys want me to drop the feedback form I made, or is there another alternate one floating out there?
Drop yours, Hefe. It's a better one. Let's rock and roll with that. That'd be better off. Okay. And then for sure, what you're saying there too, Zombie, is like, recognize this, guys. Like, the devs are watching what we're doing here, but for them, it's very exciting. Like, they might be more excited about what we're doing than we are, and it's because they're watching real, honest to God commitment and adoption of their precious project, the thing that they worked so hard to build. And so anyone that makes and produces understands what it's like, that sense of appreciation when people can recognize your good quality work. And so remember that our success is really kind of just the biggest of compliments to Pixelcraft Studios themselves. So that's just such a pleasure to see them do stuff like that. It lets you know that we're on the right path.
Sorry, I'm just getting this form ready here for people. Yeah, please fill this out. This is GMI Guild Summit feedback. We really, really want your feedback, not only so we can give you stuff, but also because we would like to get that information to pass on to our other GMI members and to Pixelcraft, because we want to keep improving our experience here at the summit, and also maybe provide, you know, Pixelcraft with a little helpful feedback they might be able to take away. But, you know, reiterating what McCallum said, this in itself was great feedback for those guys. I've been lagging on the stage. You got any last words? You had something to say there? I saw his mic was unmuted.
Am I unmuted?
Yeah.
Shit. What's up, guys?
Hey.
How long has it been, man? You've been wrapping up your whole legacy, huh?
I just switched from my phone to my computer, so that's why I did that. What's going on, guys? It was a great event, and I really enjoyed it. I was just about to drop the Guild Summit NFT one more time in closing.
Yeah. You definitely should. And that, you know, another hint, definitely fill out that GMI Summit feedback form. You want to be filling that out. Yeah, been lagging. You can drop that. And we also got DJ Super Paul here to basically cue us out and play us out of the theater. So definitely listen to this live set by DJ Super Paul incoming.
Well, and then details on this lagging face NFT for this guild channeling. This is still details to be worked out for how specifically we're going to make these or what address to send them to. So don't worry about necessarily where you grab one yet. Those will roll out. So this will just be the introduction here, and we'll do a raffle for today's attendees based on just a couple snapshots that ZFi took. And so we'll throw some of those in the mix as well. But those details are still pending on how you can grab yourself one of these. But yeah, this is his brand new drop, and if you haven't seen it yet, it's pretty slick. So check it out at that one as well.
Thank you, sir. And I may as well shield this as well one last time. The Help Goobs Out raffle / NFT sale.
Yeah, that's another dope set of artwork. There's a more detailed thread on this on GMI's page. You can definitely check it out. I think is that the tweet there that you linked? Yeah, I think so. That's the thread right there. So you can get all the details right there, and you'll get these sick pieces. I think it's only 6.9 ghosts you send to our treasury address, and you'll get one of these back. So I think if you send multiples of 6.9, we'll try and get you all 3 pieces, just so you don't have the same 3. But yeah, I see DJ Super Paul warming up there in the background. So do you guys have any last words?
Hefe, I'm gonna spin this damn wheel here of the attendees snapshot list that ZFi took at the peak, and so I've got like 11 or 12 different NFTs that we have set up for people that came today. How many do you want to draw for right now? We'll pick what it is and after the details, but let's just spin this damn wheel once or twice. What do you think?
Okay, let's spin the wheel. Let's do maybe a couple times, 2 or 3 times.
All right, brother. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
Man, this has been an awesome day, guys. I love it.
And to be clear, which NFT are we winning right now? Is this the Guild Summit NFT Bin Laden just made?
I'm going to be clear that I don't know. That's up to me to determine. We got that bank of like 11 allocated assets, the winners list. We can kind of maybe do that after the fact, but at least here's a winner.
Yeah, no, what we're going to do is we got a couple GMI NFTs. We got the District 420 NFTs. We also have some 9 Adept badges. So why don't we do 2 or 3?
Musashi, you enter by being here.
Yeah, you're here, so you've entered.
There we go. So we'll say Shaw just took a one-hit wonder. We'll decide how many we're going to give out and whatnot, but boom, Shaw takes the first one, probably one-hit wonder. Going next up.
Nice.
I'm lighting up to that one.
There we go. I don't know Senor, but Senor just got lucky. And so we're going to figure out what he's going to get or she's going to get. But Senor gets something. And last but not least, we'll do a 3-set here for that, and then we'll be discussing whether or not we want to close up the rest of them. Because, like I said, there's a whole bunch of other stuff we could do too, so we could do it offline after the fact or do a follow-up call or whatnot. Got you space tomorrow. It's up to us.
Yeah.
Everyone's exhausted, I know, and it's been a long day, so I appreciate everyone. Here's at least number 3 for today.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do a lot of follow-up stuff over the week too, giveaways and whatnot.
Oh, look at that, man. Sometimes resilience does pay off. Look at some of it.
Musashi again.
Hey, wasn't that the guy just said he didn't know how to even get in this thing?
Hacked.
That's too funny, man. Right on. So there you go. We got them recorded on the stream, whatnot, so we'll reach out to those. But someone remember for me, that's what Shaw, Musashi, and Senor. There you go. So there's some other things we're going to do too, but we're also going to have a POAP for everyone that attended today. We got some snapshots for that, and the form needs your Polygon address so we can send those out to you. Based on who's holding the POAPs after we do distribution there, we'll probably do a couple drawings that we'll publicize on our Twitter and our Discord and make a second or third touch event out of it so we can kind of just appreciate this material and provide some summary and provide some reflections on how interesting and useful of an experience this was for everybody that participated. So right on, guys. That's all I got, and that was just that was a blast.
Yeah, one more time, just gonna drop the form there in the chat. This is the form you got to fill out. Just make sure you fill that out, and we'll take care of you. So, yeah.
I really like this. I'm gonna do one more just because it's kind of fun. So, Hefe, wrap us up, and we'll do 4.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick. Okay, and then DJ Super Paul, you can start playing us out of the room, sir, as we get this last winner out here.
There we go. The last one's gonna do it for number 4, and I'm gonna hold my energies back because otherwise I'm gonna give away the farm. So that'll wrap us up, and I got nothing else left to say. I appreciate everyone's day. We gotta get some sleep. This is nuts.
Yeah, see here. DJ
All right.
Super Paul, you're good to go. You get to play us in. Get some beats.
He's playing us out. Playing us out, you're not.
Playing us out. Yeah, that's right. Long day. Whenever you want to go for it, sir. I'll have him muted, right? No, he's good. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, long day. I appreciate it. That just shows the commitment from the Gotchi gang. You know, we don't leave each other hanging. We support. You know.
Yeah.
Right on. DJ Super Paul. Love it. As we get the last winner of the raffle for this long ass day. That is good. A lot of alpha today. It's almost too much. I hope Misaki doesn't win again. Unfortunately, he won too many times. Too lucky.
break it. Shake it. Don't break 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 it. Don't shake it. Don't break it. Shake it. Don't break it. Don't break it. Don't. Don't break it. Shake it. Shake it. Don't break it. Shake it. Shake it. Shake it. Don't break 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 it. Break it. Break it. Don't 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 break it. Every bump, everybody, every bump, everybody, every shooter, everybody, every shooter, everybody, yeah, everybody do the bump, yeah. Let me do the big jump, let me do the big jump. Everybody do the bump, hey, let me do the big jump, let me do the big jump. Everybody do the bump, yeah. Let me do the big jump, let me do the big jump. Everybody do the bump. Hey, let me take a big jump, let me take a big every bump, do the bump, everybody do the bump, every bump, do the bump, everybody do the bump, every do the bump, everybody do the bump, every do the bump, everybody do the bump, every bump, do the bump, everybody, every bump, do the bump, everybody do the bump, every do the bump, everybody. Every do the bump, everybody do the bump, yeah, 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 do the bump, Walking around like, oh my God. That close to wall, walking around like, oh my God. That close to wall, walking around like, oh my God. That close to wall, walking around like, oh my God. That close to wall, walking around like, oh my God. That close to wall, that close to wall, that close to wall, that close to wall. Walking around like, oh my God. That close to wall. That close to wall. Walking around like, oh my God. That close to wall, walking around like, oh my God. That close to wall, walking around like, oh my God. That close to wall, walking around like, oh my God. That close to wall, walking around like, oh my God. That close to wall, that close to wall, that close to wall, that close to wall. Close, 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 close. That close to wall. Walking around like, oh my God. That close to wall. That close to wall. Walking around like, oh my God. Hey, you get on my clap. Me get on with my softball staff. Me get on with my softball staff. Hey, you get on my clap. Me get on with my softball staff. Me get on with my softball staff. Get on down with the smasher. Get on down. Get on down with the smasher. Get on down. Get on down with the bag up. Get on down. Get on down with the bag up. Get on down. What's that? Hey, down. Get my down. Let me get going with my shop full staff. Let me get going with my shop full staff. Hey, down. Get my down. Let me get going with my shop full staff. Let me get going with my shop full staff. Get on down.
That was DJ Super Paul. Love it. Love what you're doing there, friend. Thank you for playing us out.
What a vibe.
Playing us out. Yeah. Go ahead, Zombie. What do you got?
I was just saying that. What a vibe, man. Like, what an end to a great party, you know? Like, what a start, too. Like, coming in here with that was just killer, man. Like, oh, dude.
Yeah, I think it sets the right vibe for sure, and I think it's definitely going to be a part of all the future summits as well.
Hell
DJ
yeah.
Super Paul, man. Thank you so much.
All right, well, look, it looks like we're locked in now for July 30th, so we got to make this happen in 2 weeks, y'all. Let's do it again.
Let's do it again. Artist Summit, end of July. We'll do that. I think it deserves its own event. So.
Hell yeah. And I guess we're going to catch up with Parcel in the meantime. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Go stretch your legs, touch some grass, breathe some air.
I will say one more big shout out here, Coder Dan. I see him still on the list here of room attendees. It's 6 a.m. in Singapore right now, so we have definitely pulled an all-nighter for this fun. So that's been good stuff, and I'm happy to see the support.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, very happy to see that. Strong support from the Gotchi gang. Yeah.
Okay, like Cafe said, let's get official with it now. It's over. Leave. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Get off the computer, go stretch your legs, just do something else like this, and we'll have more stuff for you guys. There's some stuff going down tomorrow, Sunday, DAO discussions. Maybe got your space in the afternoon, Hefe, not sure what you're thinking. But by all means, guys, we'll catch you soon. Thank you very much for coming to the very first ever GMI Guild Summit. This is a blast.
Absolutely.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks.
Later, friends. Peace.
Peace. Bye.
On my hair. I got a net on my hair, God.